What's up, beautiful people? Today, I'm going to tell you guys why it's a good idea to play those disgusting, freakish, abysmal, positive 300 underdogs. Okay, let's begin with the idea of variance. So, variance is huge in DFS, specifically MMA DFS, because MMA is so damn volatile, right? Just one punch can change the whole damn fight card slate. And variance, it can mess with your head a lot, actually. Variance, basically, even if you're putting in good lineups, you can go on a pretty cold streak, and it makes you question whether you're doing things right, whether you should still be playing. Am I just losing money here? I'm just like, it's like that picture of that mouse throwing money into the furnace. Something like that, it feels mentally. So, just for hashtag mental health, it's a good idea to do things to minimize this variance as much as possible. And one of those things is hedging yourself. So we'll use an example of this weekend. We have UFC London, which is gonna be popping. We have Tom Aspinall versus Marcin Tiberius. That's the main event, and Aspinall is the huge underdog, as he should be. Aspinall is a better skilled fighter than Tiberius in every facet, so the odds are correct there. Now, looking at the fight card, we have a big fight card. It's 15 fights, which with lots of live dogs, a nice slate to play volume in DFS. So my strategy here, taking into consideration those variables, is number one, I'll be leaving money on the table because that is a good way to get different. And I expect a couple of these underdogs to make the winning lineup. Number two is play these. Well, I'm gonna have to play them to leave money on the table. These live dogs that can easily win, which leads us to getting Tom Aspinall. I'm gonna be playing heavily Tom Aspinall. He is gonna come at a high ownership, but that doesn't matter because as long as we're building our lineups, the rest of our lineups correctly, we shouldn't worry too much about duplications. Again, it's about the combination of your fighters, not the particular fighter individually. So again, leaving money on the table, playing Aspinall with live underdogs is my main strategy. Now to hedge that, we go to Marcin Tiberius. That looks disgusting. Back in the days when I first started playing, I would just X out these low owned fighters, also low probability of winning. But now I see the use of them. Take, for example, last week, the Jack Maddalena fight. I forget that newcomer, but he did decently. That fight card was very similar to this fight card. It was big and it had a lot of live underdogs, but only one underdog won in the fight card. So in order to get the favorites, all the favorites that won in your winning lineup, you had to get the lowest salaried fighter, who was the opponent of Jack Maddalena, and had very similar odds, but he did make the winning lineup in a loss. Totally screwed me over because I had the opposite of that strategy. Now here comes the hedge. You go Tiberius, and this gives you a couple benefits. Number one, low ownership. I expect him to be around 5%, for sure below 10% ownership. And he's very cheap. He's the cheapest fighter in the whole damn fight card. So this gives us the flexibility to basically play whoever the hell we want after putting him in. Again, this is not our main strategy. It's a way to hedge our main strategy. And in order to get more leverage over the field, I will play my Tiberius lineups in single entry small field GPPs. I say this because single entry small field, the chalk is chalkier, so Aspinall will be higher owned compared to the multi-entry large field GPPs. I feel like since people are hand building their lineups in single entry, they tend to put the chalkier fighters more often because they're afraid to get away from it. It is the safer bet. So put it in those lineups, in those contests, and in those contests, I'm referring to the small field. The winning lineup in the smaller field GPPs are lower scoring than the larger field GPP. So that's another benefit for our hedge. And lastly, I speak to the people who have a little bit of a larger bankroll. It doesn't have to be ridiculous, but a large enough bankroll to play volume, to play at least the 150 mini max. Because if you're not playing volume, there's no need to hedge your low amount of money entry, raw money. And if that's your situation, I highly suggest building your bankroll by doing things like cash lineups and these lower field GPPs that are, I wouldn't say easier, but lower risk, low reward type contests. So an idea here for you guys, another thing that this encompasses is the idea that it doesn't matter who you're playing, it matters how you play them and in what combination you play them, what you expect from them. The way every player has is usage, and any strategy you want to take is just up to you in implementing this. I am done.